Hi, my name is Dr. Charla Ogaz, and we are starting our course on sex and gender. I'm very excited about this. It's been a long time coming. It's taken a good amount of work, mostly psychological, to get in front of this camera. But I'm here, and my slides are ready. This is going to be our first lecture where I am going to discuss a piece of work that is written by Laura Erickson Schroth and Benjamin Davis. It is a book called Gender, What Everyone Needs to Know. It's published by Oxford University Press in 2021. So our first question is, what is sex and what is gender, and how are they different? That's the intent of this video. The term gender was first distinguished from sex in the 1950s when psychologists began to discuss the idea of gender roles, behaviors, and responsibilities given to people by a society rather than flowing from their biology. Since then, leaders across disciplines have sought to better understand the roles of biology, psychology, and culture on gender. New language has emerged alongside rich scientific inquiry and research. Increased visibility of transgender and non-binary communities has brought awareness to a range of gender diverse experiences. While legal battles, wage disparities, and health inequities continue to prove gender's relevancy in today's world. That's a direct quote from Erickson Schroth and Davis. So what you see here is a very clear delineation of biology versus culture and what society gives us as well, which would be the social and the cultural. What often happens in anybody referring to sex and gender is that the two are colluded. They're considered to be the same. The terms are often misused. So instead of asking us what our sex is, which would be male and female usually on forms, the forms will ask us what is our gender and then offer us the choices of male and female. This is incorrect. And it's a pet peeve of mine, and anybody who understands gender and sex as different categories. So our goal is to come to understand how they are in fact different categories and why it's so important for us to differentiate between them. We're going to complicate that. And a sex-gender system, sex/gender, means the two are interacting and colluding or even losing a boundary between them at the same time that we attempt to create that boundary so that we can come to better understand what is sex and what is gender. The next quote says, gender and sex are terms that are often used interchangeably and can have different meanings in different contexts. However, in general, sex refers to physical characteristics and gender to social aspects of identity. Okay. So they very clearly state that for us there, just as I did. Our first question is, are there only two biological sexes? Quote, sex is usually assigned at birth as either male or female, depending on the appearance of the genitals. There are also many people who are intersex, meaning that their bodies do not fully match our expectations of either male or female. Intersex people may be identified at birth, but many are not. We're going to delve into intersexuality in our next video lecture. And right now, though, it lays out quite simply that there are, in fact, people who do not belong to male or female as the only two categories of sex. Wow. Okay. That blows a lot of minds. And that's what we're here to do. Obviously, in the acronym LGBTQ, we've now added plus IA. I stands for the intersexed. So, to a certain extent, they're being recognized. And yet, people are so confused on this topic. And that's the importance of our course. Quote, we have certain ideas about what typical sex development looks like. Those with XX chromosomes are expected to be born with ovaries, a vagina, a vulva, and a clitoris. When they reach puberty, we assume they will develop breasts and start to menstruate. Those with XY chromosomes are expected to be born with testicles and a penis. When they reach puberty, we assume they will grow tall, develop facial and body hair, and produce sperm. Even among those who match these typical trajectories, there can be a tremendous amount of variation. Intersex people can differ from these expectations in many ways. They may have XY chromosomes and a vagina, or XX chromosomes and an enlarged clitoris. Sex may seem simple compared to gender, but it's more complicated than we think. So, if you'd like to learn more on this topic, please consider coming to our course on sex and gender on the Kajabi course platform. You can find the link below this video, and I hope that you join us because it gets much more interesting. Thanks.